Now, count on 2, live and local in the Low Country. This is News 2 at 4.
Good afternoon, and thanks again for joining us. I'm Sophia Arzoza. An attempted murder suspect is in custody following a police standoff in Somerville. Officers said they found the suspect locked inside a shed, burning multiple items, and officials also found military explosive devices on scene. News 2's Hannah Powers just got out of bond court where that suspect made an appearance. Hannah, what can you tell us about that scene?
Right, Sophia. David Bryant is charged with 2 counts of attempted murder. This is after Dorchester County officials got a call that Bryant threatened to burn a building down while he locked himself inside. And the Air Force had to respond to the scene where they removed 2 explosive military devices. The affidavit says that Bryant was armed with a sledgehammer, threatening to kill his girlfriend. When officers arrived on the scene, they found Bryant locked in the shed with a propane tank, feeding propane gas inside, threatening to ignite himself on fire, which caused an evacuation of the entire neighborhood. Firefighters were eventually able to force him out with a fire hose. Neighbors and witnesses told me it was quite the scene.
Basically, we looked outside and there were just cops everywhere. Maybe we counted 6 or 7, and we couldn't figure out what was going on at first, and we just kind of peered out the window and sat there for a minute. And we just saw them walking all back and forth.
Less than an hour ago, we were inside the magistrate court building where Bryant denied bond for the 2nd time. The judge will attempt to hold another bond meeting here tomorrow at 9 a.m. And if Bryant refuses again, the judge will set the bond. I spoke with Sheriff Knight, and he told me they have responded to this address and dealt with Bryant many times before. Reporting live in Somerville, I'm Hannah Powers. Count on 2.
We have breaking news coming into the newsroom. Mount Pleasant police have identified the body discovered near the Wando terminal yesterday as missing person Alexander Elliott. Elliott has been missing since December 10th. He was last seen at Memorial Waterfront Park in Mount Pleasant. A Low Country family is planning a memorial service for a father and daughter killed in what officials are calling a hunting accident. Investigators say other hunters mistook 30-year-old Kim Droddy and his 9-year-old daughter Lauren for deer. The Colleton County School District sent a release out today saying they are mourning the passing of 9-year-old Lauren Droddy. She was a student at Cottageville Elementary School. They also say, quote, "The well-being of our students and staff members will remain a top priority next week as we process Lauren's passing. Our district support team will be placed at Cottageville Elementary School on January 6th to offer support as we grieve the tragic loss to our community," end quote. Roads are back open after a multiple car accident sent 9 people to the hospital this morning. The accident happened in West Ashley on I-526 heading westbound towards Sam Rittenberg Boulevard. Police say a driver failed to yield, cutting off another driver. Everyone who was sent to the hospital had minor injuries. The investigation continues into a mobile home fire in Mount Pleasant. The fire broke out on Snowden Road, and we're told a Mount Pleasant police officer was actually patrolling that area when they smelled smoke. Officials say the mobile home was empty at the time of the fire. 2 cars parked next to it were also damaged. Thankfully, no injuries were reported. Police are asking for your help to find a missing 25-year-old woman from the Surfside Beach area. Chelsea Sawyer was last seen by Glens Bay Road, and police believe she may be in Mount Pleasant. Anyone with information about her whereabouts or location is urged to call the Horry County Police Department. That number is 843-248-1520. A count on 2 traffic alert for the town of Somerville. Starting Monday, Holiday Drive will be closed at the new Bear Island Road intersection. This is so crews can work to tie in Holiday Drive to New Bear Island Road. Residents on Avonshire Drive and Cranston Lane are encouraged to use Cotton Hope Lane while that work continues. New at 4, an earthquake has been confirmed in Case, South Carolina. This is the 3rd earthquake reported in the Columbia area since November. Today's earthquake was only a 1.8 magnitude. In November, there was a 2.0 earthquake reported, and in December, a 2.2. Approximately 10 to 15 earthquakes are reported annually in our state, but most go unnoticed because of the low magnitude. It is time now for a check of the weather with meteorologist David Dixon. David, you warned us it was going to be hot, humid, and gray, and there is some wet weather on the way.
There is. Thankfully, it's not arriving for tonight, so if you have any plans for tonight, You don't need to grab the umbrella, and I definitely don't think you need to grab a jacket because it doesn't feel great outside, but it doesn't feel cool either.
I couldn't believe how warm it was. It just feels so different when you're used to the cold.
Yeah, especially when we are seeing temperatures around 10 to 15 degrees warmer this afternoon compared to yesterday afternoon. In fact, this morning we started off temperatures around 25 to 30 degrees warmer than what we saw on Thursday morning. Now, temperatures right now staying in the upper 60s, and that's pretty much what we're going to see throughout the rest of the evening. And that warmth and humid air coming in as a surge of south-southwest winds really come in. The rain, it's going to hold off a little bit longer. Rain chances start to increase after midnight, the greatest chance of which, in fact, it looks very likely that we are going to see this rain comes in between 8 a.m. and noon tomorrow. Overnight, just a chance of showers really picking up again just around sunrise. We'll take a closer look at that in a moment. Right now, though, it's time to take a first check on traffic for this Friday. Time is now just after 4:05. We got an accident on 26, so really an off-ramp to Aviation Avenue off of 26. I'm seeing some delays there because everyone's trying to get onto Aviation. Otherwise, not seeing much build-up back on 526. I-26 eastbound, also there's an object in the road near the Meeting Street exit, so you do want to pay attention to that. Otherwise, the rest of the area is coming up green and clear of any accidents or delays. 526 green with drive times pretty close to what we normally see at this time, or rather the best that we can see at this time. We can see that as we take a live look down from our DOT camera. We'll take another look at that as well as your drive times in our next traffic report.
Thank you, David. And don't forget, you can always stay on top of the Storm Team 2 forecast 24/7 when you download our app. To find it, search WCBD in the App Store on your phone. The new decade is upon us, and police are warning everyone not to abbreviate the year 2020 when signing legal documents. Police say fraudsters could change the year from 2020 to 2017, 2018, or any date from the 2000s. For example, when signing a document today, you may sign it 1-3-20, but any criminal can change the date to 1-3-2017 if they wanted to, adding years to the document, claiming that you're late on payments or not meeting obligations. While the advice is not unique to this year, police say it can, quote, potentially save you some trouble down the road. Happening this weekend, the 9th annual Pay What You Can weekend at Patriots Point. Instead of the standard admission and parking fees, guests are actually encouraged to pay any amount of money they can afford. The standard museum ticket is $24 and parking is $5. The museum will be open from 9 a.m. to 6:30 p.m. all weekend long. The North Charleston Police Department and Berkeley County Sheriff's Office are still looking for Bella the dog. She's gone viral on social media after a man carjacked someone with the dog in it. Authorities actually arrested the carjacking suspect after a car chase and manhunt. However, the dog was not located in the stolen truck. Now there's a Facebook group called Find Bella of Charleston, South Carolina, and over 2,000 people have liked that page. Many in the community are posting about how that dog was special. The administrator of the page is looking for volunteers to report sightings of the dog across the state. Dorchester County Emergency Management Department wants to train you on how to be an official weather spotter. They are teaming up with the National Weather Service Charleston to host a free Skywarn Storm Spotter training on January 30th. This is so you can report severe weather in your neighborhood. You do not need to be a Dorchester County resident to attend, and registration is not required. All you have to do is show up. If you're a fan of watching the Berkeley County Sheriff's Office on Live PD, we have some good news for you. Berkeley County was renewed for more episodes of the live TV show. They will be back on Live PD beginning tonight. They recently finished their first 5 weekends on that show. The department will be one of many Friday and Saturday nights from 9 until midnight. This renewal does not have a time limit.
Next on News 2.
We are in the midst of flu season and the number of those infected continues to rise. Coming up, I take a look at those numbers and tell you how you can stay healthy.